They won.
We have a very interesting quote from Aaron Rodgers. We have the first images of LeBron James and Russell Westbrook together, but we start with what a weekend for rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. The most impressive performance in my mind and many others was that of the Bears rookie, Justin Fields. Jalen Anthony Rhodes, he had 33 yards on the ground, had some really nice plays, looked poised. What do you think about this rookie in Chicago?
I'm so happy that he's in the league and not in the Big Ten and not playing against my Wolverines anymore. And as I watched a little bit closer, Jacoby, I started to think Justin Fields would be the greatest quarterback in the history of the Chicago Bears. I've watched this team up close and personal build itself off tough defense and running the football. It don't matter if they had Singletary or Walter Payton. Now shout to Jim McMahon, who's a legend, and my guy, Captain Comeback, Jim Harbaugh, who was also a quarterback for the Bears. But you know that they're the only team in the NFL that has never had a 4,000-yard passer. The only team in the NFL. The only one. This guy's going to change that.
It certainly does feel that way, and I think that you'll see with a lot of these rookie quarterbacks we're about to discuss that we always see all the good stuff, but this wasn't like a knockout performance from Fields. He had 3 drives without a first down. He had one play where he tried to use a spin move and he fumbled and he probably shouldn't have recovered it. Like, we see the Twitter stuff, we see the highlights on social media, but this was not like a pristine performance from Fields, which makes me think that, like in this game, he may not be the starter for this team. What do you think about that?
And that's okay from the beginning. Get his kinks out in the preseason. But we know long-term, he's going to be the guy. And the one thing that people have to pay attention to, and I've told you this, Jacoby, if he's able to stand in the pocket, he's surgical. You got to get pressure on that dude. But the other thing that people, I don't want them to underestimate, he can run the football.
He can run.
He's no Lamar Jackson. But he got enough wheels to get out of the pocket. He's going to be a great player. Don't start him week 1. Don't start him week 1. Allow him to ease himself into the playbook. And he talked about the speed of the game. You know what happens when you're Tua or you're Justin Fields? You're practicing in college against half of the NFL. He practicing in college against the Bosas and Chase Young. So, of course, the game is slowed down. The other team didn't have Chase Young out there.
I love the fact that this rookie quarterback, after his first preseason games, that actually the game felt kind of slow to me. And you see these highlights, the way that he can move. So even if you do get pressure on him, he's so good at throwing the ball on the run and running to get first downs. Very impressive from him. The next rookie quarterback we're going to discuss is the Trey Arias' own Trey Lance. They put a lot of draft equity up to put him in their uniform. And Jalen, It was okay. Like, we're going to see the highlights again, but this was very much an up and down performance, and he showed a lot of rust, given that he's only played like 1 football game in the last year and a half.
You doing it again, Jacoby. We going E40? We going with the spoon? Trey Area! Is that what you said?
Yes,
He
sir.
got to put in some work to earn that one. But here's the distinction that I got from watching the 49ers quarterback room. Him and Jimmy G are vastly different styles, right? Like, we know their defense is going to be stout, in particular their front four, and their front in particular. 2 vastly different styles. This will be Jimmy G's job, though. I know that you took Trey really high. He's not going to be the starter week 1. He might not even be the starter this year if you Jimmy Garoppolo. But things happen during a long season. Garoppolo has shown a propensity to get injured. I anticipate he's going to get his chance, and it's great to see these rookies now getting opportunities to play. I'm from the caveman era. When you drafted a rookie at quarterback, it was like, you gonna sit, regardless of the circumstance. Now, based on the salary cap and how Saturday football has translated into Sunday football in so many different ways, you can get these guys in there earlier.
So much what you see is that 80-yard touchdown pass, which was a beautiful play from Trey Lance, which just shows the sort of home run hitter type of mentality that he has. He can get that for you. But what you don't see on Twitter is he was sacked 4 times. He was sacked 4 times. It was not the most impressive performance. Now, I'm not going to overreact to one preseason game, but it certainly feels like putting Garoppolo in there would be the prudent thing to do while Trey Lance develops. Because remember, he barely played last year in college. And when he was playing in college, he wasn't playing the competition that the Trevor Lawrences and the Justin Fields were playing in practice and in games. And I'm mentioning Lawrence because we're going to transition to him. The Jaguars took the field over the weekend, and there he is, the #1 pick. And Jalen, his first snap under center, very first snap under center was a strip that he was lucky to recover, but it was a tough start for the #1 pick, but he did bounce back and make some plays. They also got Gardner Minshew. Jalen Rose, what do you think about this quarterback room and this performance from him?
Did you say the #1 overall pick? Is that what Trevor Lawrence was?
Yes.
Well, that means he's going to a bad football team. And that's the first thing I thought about. You put Gardner in there and you allow him to take those punches, those blows, those sacks, those hits. Don't put your prize rookie out there week 1 because it clearly has some struggles with the offensive line. And another guy that was in that quarterback room, I guess he's now in the tight end room, but either way, the other thing that stood out to me is keep getting them checks, Tim Tebow.
What a great block.
Keep getting them checks, Tebow.
That was an amazing
Throw
block. People are making fun of this
Tebow.
block. Got the job done. Look at that. See, he got his job done. Did 59 make the play? No, he did not. That was an excellent block. An excellent block from Tim Tebow. The internet got this one all wrong. Show it to me again, Tommy. Show it to me again. Watch the technique. Watch the technique. He gets to the outside shoulder and then pushes him back in towards the line of scrimmage. Look at the technique. Boom. You see that? That's how you lay the pads on somebody, Jalen Rose. Tim Tebow, that was one of the best blocks I've ever seen. That is not easy to do. Gets outside leverage, pushes him in. I don't know why the internet's clowning him for this. Did he make the play? Did his man make the play? Did they get the first down? I salute you, Tim Tebow, one of the hardest hitting players in the NFL right now.
I'm not mad at, what Tebow's accomplished, but his stands are out of control. Are you really going to act like that was like a terrific technique?
That's a great block.
Pancake block.
You see that? No, yeah, you see how he got the outside leverage?
Is somewhere jealous.
Where's 59 going? Look at, did he make the play? Look at that hole. Look at that hole they opened up. That looks like a first down to me. It looks like Tim Tebow's moving the chains. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know what it looks like to you, Mr. Rose. I don't know what it looks like to you. Salute Tim Tebow, hardest hitting tight end in the league. George Kittle, watch out, because Tebow is coming. The 4th string tight end on the Jaguars. The first string quarterback on the Packers is Aaron Rodgers, and we've been talking about Aaron Rodgers, his future with the Packers, his relationship with the Packers all summer long. Well, he told Peter King last year at this time, I was looking at the season as my last year in Green Bay. Mr. Rose, this year at this time, doesn't it feel like he's looking at his last year in Green Bay as well?
You know that he's on his main source, and he's looking at the front door. If it was up to him, he tried to bully it on draft day. Didn't we just talk about the 49ers taking Trey Lance and trying to move off of Jimmy G? Aaron Rodgers was on the phone. He was like, hey, I'm about to call Adam Schefter right now. You know that? They didn't take me on draft day, but I'm going to try to bully this right now from Hawaii. I'm going to see if I can. This is Aaron. Yeah, Rodgers. Y'all know I'm trying to be out of there, dog. I'm trying to get to the 49ers. What up, though? All right, we can't do it this year. All right, take some years off my deal, and then we holler at me next summer. That's all this is. And don't underestimate Devontae Adams, WR1. There's a chance that both of these guys are going to make long playoff runs, maybe even make it to the Super Bowl, and then leave. The only thing that this reminds me of is I thought when KD joined the Splash Brothers, I was like, this is a super team that's about to win. How many rings did our guy 40 Water say they were going to win when they first added KD?
10, double digits. He said 10 rings. He said 10 rings.
Right, exactly. And so now all of a sudden, you Aaron Rodgers, you got 1 ring in Green Bay. You've been on a really good football team the last couple of years. Now they go into basically a final season together. This is going to be great to watch. As a Lions fan, here's what I know, Jacoby. We need to clear cap space. You know what I'm saying? We need to be clearing some cap space.
Oh, Jalen, here's what happened. You know what? I don't want to talk about your Lions because no one wants to hear about them because they're one of the worst franchises in the NFL. But I'll say this. To watch Aaron Rodgers walk away, just to have Justin Fields walk into the division, it's just cruel and unusual punishment for all the Lions fans. Mr. Rose, we have some interesting deals that were made over the weekend in the NBA. The Clippers will be without Kawhi Leonard, but they will be with Eric Bledsoe, Pat Beverly, and 17's Heineken River Deck at the Seaport. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, we have some images of the new duo that will be wearing purple and gold. LeBron James and Russell Westbrook went to Summer League to support the team, got a workout in, and my favorite part about this is in the caption, LeBron James joked, "I agree, I don't think this will work either." Mr. Rose, what do you think about this duo and LeBron James once again firing back at the haters?
So we gonna make the Lakers the underdogs this year? Is that what we trying to do?
That's what LeBron's trying to do.
I just want to know. Okay, because they're betting odds that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win the West, right?
Yep.
Ain't those the betting odds?
Pretty clear
So that
favorites,
means they're an actual favorite, right? That means they're a favorite, right? I just wanted to make sure I said that out loud. They're a favorite. They're not an underdog. As a matter of fact, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hall of Famers that are going to be playing for their team this year.
Yeah.
I am not worried about their fit. And the other thing I got to teach everybody about my guy, Brody Russ. Let me teach y'all something. As somebody that grew up idolizing the Big O, I thought no one, if Magic didn't do it, if Jason Kidd didn't do it, if LeBron didn't do it, would ever eclipse his triple-double record. Now he just gets them at halftime. So this idea that he's not going to fit in, newsflash, when you average a triple-double, you fit in anywhere. It's basketball. They'll be just fine.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Another thing is, there are people that think this isn't a good fit. There are people that think that this will not work. But those people are wrong. It's Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. Maybe they don't fit together on the court at the same time, but that's why they brought Dennis Schroeder in to be a second playmaker with the second unit. Would you rather have Dennis Schroeder on your team or Russell Westbrook, triple-double machine, future Hall of Famer on your team? There's a reason Dennis Schroeder got $5.9 million from the Celtics in a one-year deal. Russell Westbrook is a much more valuable player. Their roster from top to bottom is much better than last year. So, yes, people did say they were old. People did say that it won't work. Those people are wrong, LeBron. You are the favorites to win the West, and clearly the favorites. Clearly the favorites. But you know what? Whatever you got to do to motivate yourself. You're in like year 20 of your career. Whatever you got to do to motivate yourself. Remember this tweet? When he was like, he's just, whatever he has to do to motivate himself, whatever your process is, LeBron, enjoy it, because I once again see you being an MVP candidate and number one in the West. Go ahead.
There's an animal that the NBA has not been introduced to yet. That's Russell Westbrook playing in purple and gold in front of his family and friends. Y'all thought that gentleman played with intensity and ferocity before. Oh, man, it's about to be on a whole different level. And when you talk about it working, it ain't necessarily about, like, they're a perfect match made in heaven basketball-wise. There are going to be some kinks there, of course. But the bottom line is, they're going to be a terrific team, and Russell Westbrook is going to have a really good season.
And they also have Anthony Davis. Just throwing that out there. They also have a healthy Anthony Davis coming back to start the season. Well, do you remember when the Clippers and the Lakers were sort of like 1 and 2 in this arms race for the Battle of Los Angeles? Well, with Kawhi Leonard recovering from surgery, It doesn't feel like that's necessarily the case anymore, especially with Russell Westbrook being added to the Lakers. However, the Clippers made a move. They acquired Eric Bledsoe. They sent Rajon Rondo and Pat Beverly to the Grizzlies to get Bledsoe. Do you think that makes them a better team after this move?
I believe if Kawhi Leonard is healthy, it makes them a better team. It's a fringe move in theory if they're not going to get all NBA caliber Kawhi. And hopefully he's able to recover from his injury and able to play a lot of games this year. But this is a classic example of veteran contracts moving around and adjusting to your role as you get older. Because a couple of seasons ago, Patrick Beverly was the starting point guard of the Los Angeles Clippers, right? Now he's going to go to Memphis. That's Ja Morant's job. Dylan Brooks, who you know I really like, having those three on the floor, in particular the latter two, they're going to be locking down defensively. So now Pat Bev in a new role, a reduced role, but still defensively he's going to be able to have an impact. I like it for him a lot. And Eric Bledsoe made some plays when he was in L.A. He wasn't necessarily the guy that could play alongside Zion because he's not necessarily a shooter. And so he's been to a couple of teams. I like it for the Clippers. I like it for the Grizzlies, who outplayed expectations this season.
To look at these great matchups, make sure you tune in. Jalen, I've been tuning in to Summer League, and one of the things that has jumped off the screen at me is your guy, #1 pick, Cade Cunningham. He has put on some impressive performances, but against the New York Knicks, 7 for 10 from 3, Jalen Rose. What do you think of Cade?
The #1 stunner. And the thing is, Jacoby, our young guys are looking good. I seen Killian Hayes put somebody in the spin cycle and make a 3 from the left wing. I see Bey slashing down the lane. He always makes threes and cutting and making layups and dunks. But here's the thing that stood out to me the most about Summer League. Who says no? I'm on the phone right now. Doncic or Garza?
Garza.
I'm taking Garza.
Oh, Garza,
the
Garza.
real Luka's in Detroit. The real Luka's in Detroit, baby. The next NBA MVP out there looking like Bill Laimbeer out there getting buckets. You see him.
Oh, he looks light on his feet. Like he used to just be jump hooks and turnarounds. Like he's hitting step back threes. He's gonna walk into a 3. Look at this Luka. I'm going Garza over Doncic all day. I mean, Doncic is great, but Garza just has a higher ceiling. Garza can control the game more.
Yes.
He impacts the game more than Doncic does when he's on the floor. Keep an eye on Garza. Maybe he'll impact the G League games that he plays in this year.
The ceiling is the roof. Or what did MJ say? The roof is the ceiling. Yeah, that still
Something
doesn't
like
make
that.
sense.
Peyton Pritchard played in a Pro-Am, ended up with 92 points in a Portland Pro-Am game. Jalen Rose, 92 for the Celtics point guard.
And then going back to Vegas to play with his Celtics team. I like him out here getting work, getting better every summer. And this is what pros do in the summer, Jacoby. My career high in the Summer League at the Saint was over 70. We was playing against the Pershing Doughboys. Shout to the OG Steve Smith. And the game ended in the 4th quarter. You ready for this? Because we had a team fight. So shout to Boo. Shout to Khalil, my guys. Detroit, stand up. I see you Peyton Pritchard out there getting buckets.
So you had 77 and you didn't even finish the game. So you had 77 in the 4th and you didn't even finish the game.
Dog, the video was going through the hood like Menace to Society. People was like, I got the tape. I got